My name is Carlos Dominguez, and this is my informational speech about student loan debt forgiveness. Imagine graduating from college with thousands of dollars of debt before starting your first job. For millions of Americans, this is a reality, and student loan debt has become one of the most debated financial issues in America. As a college student myself, I became interested in this topic because student loans can directly affect students around me, their families, and future career decisions. Today, I'll first discuss the current student loan debt situation in America. Secondly, I'll be discussing the supporting side of student loan debt forgiveness. And lastly, I'll be discussing the opposing side of student loan debt forgiveness. I'll first like to begin with the current student loan debt situation in the United States. Student loan debt is a growing issue in America. According to a New York report from a Federal Bank Reserve, they say that $1.7 trillion is in loan debts alone. They say that this is one of the largest forms of consumer debt in the country. One reason for this increase is the rising cost of college. According to a 2025 report from a Motley Fool article, they state that tuition and other college expenses have contributed to the rise over time. Because of these costs, many students rely on student loans to completely cover their education. In addition to the tuition, students often borrow money for the housing, textbooks, transportation, and other college expenses alone. Many students use loans because they do not have enough money in savings to cover the costs on their own. Student debt can affect borrowers long after graduation. According to a 2025 Root News article, many borrowers experience financial issues and struggles to make payments. And I will also like to include in the 2025 NerdWallet article, they state that they also found that student debt can delay major financial goals such as buying a house, saving money, or even starting a business. Some borrowers spend many years trying to pay back their loans, while others may have to make a difficult financial choice. They have to make a difficult financial choice because a large part of their income goes to the student loan payments alone. Now that the current student loan debt situation is clear, let's look into why many people support student loan debt forgiveness. Supporters believe that student loan forgiveness provides economic and social benefits. First of all, I would like to say that supporters argue that forgiveness will provide financial relief. Borrowers, and what I mean by borrowers is that people that borrow from the bank, they would have more money available every day for everyday expenses and savings. According to a 2022 Brookings Institute article, loan forgiveness could increase consumer spending and support economic activity. Supporters believe that when people have fewer loan payments, they may be able to spend more money on their local communities. This could help businesses and support economic growth for the country. Secondly, supporters believe that forgiveness promotes social equality and that they argue that lower income borrowers and some minority communities are affected more heavily by student debt. Debt relief could reduce financial pressure and create more economic opportunities for the people. Supporters also believe that reducing debt help with may help with families build savings and improve their financial stability. Finally, supporters believe that forgiveness could encourage more students to attend college with less of fear of debt. Students may feel more comfortable with pursuing higher education and careers that might be in their interest instead of just trying to pay their loans after college. Some supporters believe that students should be more focused on learning and less worrying about future debt. While many people support student loan forgiveness, others think it's a serious risk to the economy. Opponents argue that student loan forgiveness is unfair and very expensive. One common argument is that taxpayers may end up just paying the cost for the forgiveness. Opponents believe that people who did not take out loans should not be responsible for covering someone else's debt. They argue that many Americans either paid for college themselves or choose to attend college or, or choose not to attend college because of the cost. Others point out that many borrowers have already paid off their debts and loans without assistance. They argue that the forgiveness rewards to some borrowers. They say that forgiveness rewards some borrowers while offering nothing to those who already fulfilled their obligations. According to another 22 Brookings Institute article, opponents also argue that large forgiveness programs could also could cost taxpayers hundreds of billions of dollars. Some economists also worry that these programs could increase government debt and contribute to the inflation, while others believe that such large amounts of money could also be used for the public instead of helping the debts. Finally, opponents believe that forgiveness does not solve the root problem. College tuition may continue to rise, and future students could still be forced to pay large amounts of debt. Many critics also believe that lowering tuition costs can reduce loan interest rates instead of just paying for them. They argue that fixing fixing the cost of debt may be more efficient than just simply giving them loans. As I conclude, I have discussed the current student loan debt situation and the arguments supporting the student loan debt forgiveness and the arguments opposing the student loan debt forgiveness. And it still remains as one of the most debated financial issues in American present today. As college as a college as college students understand both sides of the issue, it is important to keep in mind of this situation because it might directly affect our financial futures. Student loan debt impacts millions of Americans, while some see this as a while some see forgiveness as necessarily relief. Others believe that it creates fairness and financial concerns. Understanding both sides makes us informed of the decisions about an issue that could affect many of us in the future. This concludes my informational speech. Thank you.